Hello and welcome to Clear Shift Solutions. I am Grace and I am here for another segment of our wonderful series, Finishing Strong. Okay. And this is such an important series and this is such an important time, not only in your business, but also in this economy. We have seen so many things transpire in 2025, and we've seen so many things transpire just in the past few weeks, right? Things with the government shutdown, the potential loss of food stamps, right, for people in need, and so many other things, right. On the Hill, there's conversations around Affordable Care Act, right, healthcare, and how that should happen and what should and shouldn't happen, right. There's so many things that are on the docket of consideration that will have a direct impact in your community, in the economy, in your business, right, um, and just some of the decisions that you're going to be making. And so, as I begin to talk in this topic is around your strategic plan, right? So, establishing a strong strategic plan for 2026, I want to stress a few things for you. One, what and how is your business anchored? Is your business anchored in the economy? Is your business anchored through a presidential candidate? Is your business anchored through the desire to make money and be filthy rich? Is your business anchored in what exactly? Because how your business is anchored is really what moves and impacts you as a business owner and as a leader, and it's also going to be in the thread and in the body of your business. And so if you're not clear about how your business is anchored, that anchoring should not be shifting left and right depending on how the wind blows, right? That anchor should be strong and keep you steady. Okay, so let's look at for example, a sailboat, right? They have an anchor that puts them in place, right? So you have to anchor down so you won't drift off, right? Even when a boat is anchored and anchored properly, it will still have some movement, right? Whether the wind current, the speed of the wind is really high, or maybe there is rain, or maybe there is whatever, there will be some movements, right? There you will feel the impact of the economy, you will feel the impact of certain stuff, but you would not be moved to the other end of town, right? You will not be moved to the west if you're on the east, okay? And so you're still going to be relatively in position, right? And so I want you, and I cannot stress this enough, to be very clear about how you're anchored. And that anchoring should be relatively definitive. Okay. It should not be up for debate every week, every quarter, every year. Okay. And so I want to put that as a core frame of thought. Okay. Also, another thing that I know is very, very important, guys, and to be true is I am a woman of faith. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I am led to share a scripture with you guys before I begin. Okay. And so, if you don't mind, it is Colossians 3:23. Okay. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as you're working for the Lord, not for human masters. Whatever you do, work with it with all your heart as you're working for the Lord and not for human masters. This work that we are doing in healthcare, it is faith. This is the most important work of all time, right? It is so, so important. And you're really at the intersection, of the most vulnerable aspects of someone's life, right? And this is godly work. And so if you are not positioned with that heart to truly serve humankind, to truly serve God's people, you're in the wrong line of business. I cannot stress that enough. If you do not have a true heart of service where you are going to be serving with all your heart, giving, doing whatever you're doing, this work with all your heart, giving your best effort every day, seeking to serve, humbling yourself, being a good leader, refining and giving your best as if you're doing this to God, right? Versus human masters. And you can take that as in whatever way you wish, but you have to be anchored more than just monetary gain. These are people's lives that we are serving, and we're also employers, right? People are dependent on our company to eat. So we have to be strong in mind, and we always have to consider the people within our company, the people that we're serving. As a leader, you're always a servant first. You're a servant first. So if you're not serving well, if you're not anchored in being the hands and feet of Jesus in this world, if you're not anchored in love and kindness and being like the best, doing your best, giving your best, taking feedback, you know, making adjustments, right? And keep perfecting yourself so that you can be that light and hope for someone's life, guys, and you're in the wrong business, okay? I must insert that because this is very important times, and healthcare is always a very, very important topic. It's at everybody's decisions table, and we're in the line of healthcare. We are the feet of this company. We are the feet of this industry. We are going into people's homes. We are helping the sick, right? We are healing people. We're bringing love to people. We are the hands and feet of Christ, okay? And so I want to make sure that you understand that if you are in healthcare, you must be committed to serving and serving with excellence every time, every moment, every day, okay? All right. Now that I've said that, so that was Colossians 3:23. I want to move into my topic. All right, guys. This is episode 6 of Finishing Strong series, which we are talking about strategic planning. Okay, so we're less than 90 days into 2026. And there's a question that I have for you. Will you start the year ahead or will you start the year behind? In this episode, we're really going to talk about really examining high growth companies plan ahead. High growth companies are anticipating, right? And they're planning ahead. So you have to think about if high growth companies plan in Q4 to execute in Q1, do not wait until January for you to be clear of what you're going to be doing because you're already behind, guys. You need to be a step or two ahead. You have to play chess, not checkers, right? You cannot wait for someone else to make a move before. You have to anticipate and prepare ahead, okay? So if you have not started preparing, I am going to give you a Q4 strategic planning checklist to help you in that process. Okay, so 6 points I'm going to give. Point number 1, revenue projections. What's your 2026 revenue target? And break it down into quarters. Oftentimes, what people do when they look at revenue projections is they look at their past year, maybe 2-3 years, and try to see what is the pattern, right? How are we trending? What does that look like? And really being honest about why your performance was what it was. Was it your numbers are what they are because of staffing, right? You have really great staff, or who was your key referral partners? Like really break it down so you can kind of really understand how you got to those numbers or why you didn't get to those numbers, because then it'll really help you break down what activity that you need to do to support the revenue projections that you have in 26. Okay. So if you have revenue projection like, hey, I want to make, $3 million in 2026. And I'm going to break that down by quarter. And then these are the things that we have been able to effectively do well. These are our referral partners. Okay, I've had, this hospital referral partners, I've had these rehabilitation centers, etc. And then how many more do you need to get? What relationships do you need to continue to foster? Do you need to expand relationships within that same building, or do you need to get a new you have to retain that client and that referral source while also nurturing and capturing new referral partners, right? So you want to make sure that you are breaking down revenue based off, again, past performance, what you were doing well, areas of opportunity, untapped opportunities. Maybe if there's some things, whether it's some efficiency process or systems things that you guys could do to help speed, to improve speed and processing time, onboarding time, whatever it is that you need to do. Maybe you need to make certain investments. Those are the things that you need to consider. So therefore, you're not just having revenue goals, but then you're also able to break down how you're going to get there, and then what you need to get there, and then what budget you need for that, and then what personnel you need for that, right? What systems, and then you could really again break that down. But let's have some revenue targets, because that's going to keep everybody focused. And then once you have these revenue projections, you want to be able to share this in a staff meeting, and so that everybody's eyes can be focused on what we're looking for. And once you have these projections, and you guys, let's say in January, you're working, like day one, everybody needs to know what we're working on. And everybody needs to be reporting their activity every single day. So you need to be having daily meetings, weekly meetings. How are we to our goal? Because you got to break down that quarterly to monthly to weekly to daily activities, so that you are optimizing performance each day. Okay. So you can get there. And so that's what I would recommend. 2, workforce planning. How many caregivers, admin staff, or RNs do you need? And when will you hire them? Okay. And so if you are particularly, let's say, putting marketing efforts, and you're building and nurturing relationships in a certain area, you need to make sure that you have adequate workforce for that area as well. So therefore, as you're getting clientele, you have the adequate staff, and you're able to staff quickly and effectively. Okay. One of the worst things in healthcare, especially the home care space, is having a client and no staff, or having staff and no client. You have to have this really good marriage and balance, to where everything is happening in tandem, right? Everything is happening in tandem. And so no one is like running too far ahead of the other and keeping the other person behind. It's like, okay, we're running together, right? We're running together, we're running together. And so you want to make sure that you have your workforce planning. So review again the past, last year, the year before that, year before that. Okay, what systems are we using? Do we like them? Which ones are getting us quality candidates? What relationship partners do we have when it comes to getting quality staff? What are we looking for in staff members? Are we priced properly? What incentives are we offering for caregivers? What are, again, other people are offering, and are we on market or under market? Like things of that nature. Because you may have some population, let's say if you're recruiting in a particular area, that may need benefits and resources and a bunch of amenities. And then you may have another market where it's like, hey, they have husbands or may have partners, and they're on other people's health insurance, and you could offer them benefits, but they really don't need it because they're under someone else, right? And so you need to make sure that wherever you are, your workforce in that area, and you're able to meet the needs of that workforce, okay, so that you're attractive as possible. Also, you want to be able to kind of think outside the box with this as well. To make it fun. Also, in workforce planning, I would also, if you have a current workforce, do a survey with them. I love surveys, guys. Get to know what your staff is saying, thinking, and feeling. If you don't have exit strategies, like when people are leaving your company, getting feedback from them, you need to make sure that you have that. Because if someone was in your company, let's say 1 or 2 years, and they left, you want to know, what do they like, what they didn't like, what you can improve on. But so you definitely always need to get that exit interviews. But you also need to make sure that you're getting regular feedback from your staff, and this will be the perfect time to do it. Okay. Payroll budget. Obviously, we all know that HB 39 changes have been are instituted, and that's happening January 1. It's now, you should already have reclassified your staff by now. You should have already now accounted for all the different excuse me, all the different payroll requirements and the increase in your payroll by now. So that should have already been taken care of, right? So now you know that your hourly wage for a caregiver is X amount, right? And so now your budget now has increased. So now as you're forecasting into 26, okay, you know how much it costs for you to have a caregiver on hand, and now you know that, hey, our payroll budget has went up by 10%, by 20%. Okay, so now this is also a great time to look into your pricing structure as well. Are you priced right to accommodate all the different payroll adjustments that you have made in your business, okay, to kind of help absorb some of that cost? And so again, things to think about. But again, also, can you afford the team that you desire? Can you afford W-2? And if you're affording them, is it at the minimal base requirement? Or are you able to add other things on there? Because you have to understand that you want to be attractive. You want to get the cream de la cream. You want to get the top of the crop. Why? Because those people are going to, one, those people are going to be professional. Ideally, they're going to be responsive. They're going to be, you want people that are not in and out. They're clear. They're marketing because they're doing such a great job, and they're marketing positively on the field on behalf of your brand. And so, but those top tier caregivers are also the one that is also always looking for other opportunities. They're always looking for other opportunities. They're always getting scouted and pursued. And so, if you are going for that top talent, just understand that they're also wise up here too, and they're also, okay, I'm working here, but I'm also in school to be a nurse, right? And they have and other things going on with them, and so they're going to give you good on the job, but just know that they may not be there forever. And so you just kind of, again, just want to be mindful of your desired team and what that looks like. What's that personality trait? Who are the kind of people that you're looking for? So just make sure that you consider everything from a payroll with taxes, benefits, and onboarding. Make sure you just consider everything. Number 4, marketing plan. Are you running ads? Do you need to run ads? Um, what does your local outreach look like? Do you have a plan for that? Do you know what activities are coming up for 2026? Do you have someone that's going to keep a pulse on the market so that when things come up, you guys are the first to know when you could be involved? Referrals. Again, what are your current referral partners? How many do you have? How many are actively referring? Also, it's a good time in the holidays to thank your referral partners. If you haven't already done so, a nice holiday gift. Hey, thank you so much for working with us this year. Like, people love to be acknowledged and recognized. So if you have not thanked your holiday partners, or your partners throughout the year, this is the perfect time to do it during the holidays, okay? And you could do anything from gas gift cards to coffee. Just if you know things personally about them, do that, right? Little mini care packages. It doesn't have to be extensive, but let people know that you care. Let people know that you are listening, that you know what's going on. Do you have a budget? Do you have a budget set aside for marketing? You need to be having a monthly marketing budget set aside that addresses all your different marketing outreach. So if you don't have a marketing budget, you're already not positioning yourself in the proper way. Also, do you have a strong word of mouth? A strong word of mouth traction, and that's how people find you. If so, people are finding from word of mouth. That means that your service is really good. So how do you continue to serve and serve well? And again, if you identify someone that's really sharing your business to other people, make sure that you recognize them and acknowledge them for those referrals and recommendations. I don't care if someone refers you one person. If that one person turns to income, if that one person just called you because of someone else, it's always best to say thank you for that referral. I really appreciate it, and let them know that. Okay. Compliance calendars. This is really good if you do not have an HR on your team. I encourage you to reach out to us, hire us. You can hire us as a fractional HR, so we can be on your team, and we could be there on a monthly basis supporting your team in various aspects. But this will be a good time where you have a compliance calendar, someone that is aware of labor laws and updates and posting, again, aware of what's happening with governments and how that's impacting your business. Um, any benefit notices, any licenses renewal. Just get a compliance tracker or establish a compliance tracker so you're just always ahead of the game versus behind and trying to catch up. Okay. All right. So, number six, I would say tech and systems reviews. What is outdated and what will help you grow? This is a perfect time to look at your systems. What do you like? What do you not like? Are you in contracts? Sometimes, we forget and we're in like an automatic renewal type of contract. So if we don't say anything, they're just gonna keep being there. And I know I've had a habit of this where I'm like, right now, I don't like my phone provider. But I just feel so inconvenienced to go to another phone provider and research that I'm still with this phone provider because I've been with them for years. And sometimes we can be a creature of habit. And it's always best, if this is something you can't do, have someone in your team do it, but make sure that you have partnerships that align with your business, that align with your business growth, that are able to scale with you, again, that are easy to use for your company. Maybe partners that do it training throughout the year. Just whatever that you need, whether you need some certain type of HR platforms or systems, whether you need certain systems for benefits, certain systems for timekeeping and effective client onboarding, let us know. Again, that is also an aspect that we can support you guys as well, evaluating your system and effectiveness of that. And we do that through our assessments. Okay. And so those are the six things that I want you to consider. I'll repeat them quickly. So for your quarter 4 strategic planning checklist, these are some ideas. You can expand on this: revenue projections, workforce planning, payroll budget, marketing plan, compliance calendar, tech and systems review. And I will also say this as a bonus: if you have a business plan, which you should have now, um that should be a living document. Okay, and that should be a document that should be always iterated and adjusted and approved. And so this will be a perfect time also to look at your business plan and see how, one, identify when is the last time you did your business plan. If it's been 2-3 years, you need to look at that again. If it's been 10 years ago you haven't looked at your business plan, you're tripping. Okay, get it together. You need to look at your business plan. You need to see how you're measuring against your business plan, see how you're measuring against those numbers and those projections you had before. And then if you need to make certain iterations or adjustments to your business plan, feel free to do that. But the strategic plan should also kind of mirror what you've already stated in your business plan. Now, sometimes we can just put some arbitrary numbers in there in the business plan, and we have to actually, those numbers and the execution in real life don't match. They're like totally off. Then you may want to make some adjustments and then enhance that. Okay. All right, guys, I want to give you another tip. Okay. Build 2 to 3 sprints. Okay. For Q1. So you want to have a clear 30 to 60 day projections that make the needle move. Okay. So again, be hyper focused, have your team focus around 2 to 3 things that you guys can really just knock out and like crush. Okay. You want to be crushing. And it's also good to do things that you guys can crush to help build that momentum of the team and that morale and that confidence. And then you can kind of keep adding on there. Okay. So you want to make sure you do that. Okay. So for example, like launching new hiring process or onboarding some team members or updating SOPs, right? Whatever you decide. And these could be business sprints for the company at large or for certain departments. Okay. So you can decide how you want to do it, but definitely focus on, okay, what can we know that we can do and get done in 30 days? What can we do within 60 days? Like, and just get certain things done. It's going to create, again, a winning momentum. And you want that energy, because that energy is also a currency that can convert over to, again, improved performance, again, increased morale, great company, teamwork and synergy. And that will be felt in the community as well. Some reflections that I want you to consider as a CEO, as you're looking at your businesses: what will my company look like on December 31st, 2026? Okay, so a year from now, what will your company look like? What needs to happen this year to make that vision real? Okay, be real honest with yourself. Um, Also, what resources? So that could be tools, that could be partners, that could be support. Do you need to hit those numbers? Okay. Be real honest with yourself. This also could mean that you're making additional investments that you're not used to making. Okay. Sometimes you need to go out of what you've have done to get to another level. Okay. And so sometimes it may mean bringing expert professionals into your business to help you guys out. Okay. Everybody needs that. You need to be able to bring expertise into your business to help you go to the next level. Whatever it is, okay, be really honest with yourself, and make a strategic plan on how you're going to invest accordingly. Okay. So, guys, stop winging it. Stop winging it. Get clear. Okay. And plan with precision. Okay. We want you to make a plan that you can execute. Okay. So every January, we're not just going to, oh my gosh, it's January. No, have a clear plan. Okay. So what we have done, okay, at Clear Shift Solutions is we're here. We're ready to help you guys. And we understand that compliance, HR strategy, workforce development, benefits, right? Labor laws and legal compliance is so important for your business. We understand that systems and processes win. Okay. Systems win, right? Efficiencies win. Okay. You want to establish a winning business. Okay. And if you need a third party to come in and take a look at what's going on, that is what we're here for. So please book a free consult with us. Also, we're going to be launching the webinar. Okay, we have a webinar series that we're launching for this November. Please look out. It is a free webinar series. It's going to be about 45 minutes or so each series, and it's going to be really impactful and great. Okay, so I want you to be a part of that as well. So make sure you share this information with a friend. Please like and subscribe to us. Book your consult with us. Invest and prepare for 2026, and get very honest with yourself. Okay, and I cannot forget to repeat what I said. How are you anchored? I want to say this: companies that will win and win big are companies that are committed to serving well. Companies that are committed to serving well. That is going to be the differentiator. That is going to be like the divider that separates the companies, okay? To the most successful companies out there, to the ones that are just trying to make it work, okay? How are you serving? I don't care if you got a Medicaid waiver client or if you have a private pay 24-hour client that's paying you $40 an hour. How do you serve? Okay, you have to get really anchored in that. You must be committed to serving with excellence, like you're doing it for God. Okay, you must be committed to serving your staff. Stop giving your staff the short end of the stick. If you don't have the competencies or capabilities to lead, hire a leader to support them and guide them. Okay, a lot of leaders or a lot of business owners don't know how to lead their staff. Okay, a lot of business owners don't know how to do it. Get people that can help you guys so you can properly support your team. Okay. But you have to serve the people also within your business. You have to provide benefits. You have to provide benefits. Stop cutting corners. Do you want somebody to cut corners on you? Like, you really got to be treating people the way you want to be treated. You want people to love to work for you. That tells their friends, hey, this is the best employer I've had. They're like, I'm telling you, this is the season. And I want to say this, with food stamps being on the line, and they're planning on cutting that off, and so many other things that are happening. I remember when I first started working with a home care agency and I was supporting their HR or marketing efforts on the administrative team. I remember personally signing off paperwork for people to get approved for certain programs, whether they needed paperwork for me to sign for food stamps, for child care benefits, for social service benefits. I remember doing that. And these were caregivers that were working 40, 50, 60 hours. But they had multiple kids, they had this and this, and that income was not enough for them. They depended on social services, right? They depended on that. And it was my job to make sure that everything that they received timely. Even I had some caregivers that were they had to meet certain qualifications for their Medicaid or Social Security payments, right? They couldn't go over a certain amount of hours and this and that, or they didn't want to be cut off their benefits, right? And so we have to be extremely sensitive to the people that we're serving, and we have to be willing to care for them, okay? Because they have needs too. They have needs too, and they're looking for an employer that truly cares about them, because they truly care about the staff. They truly care about the clients that they're serving. They truly care about them. That's why the clients love them. That's why they call them family. That's why they buy them gifts sometimes and check on them and advocate for them, because they love that caregiver. Okay. And you have to love them back, right? You have to be there for them and support them. Okay. So this is the time where people are going to really see your heart and how you're wired and how you're structured. Okay. That is going to be the true teller of what company will be successful or not. Okay. Just want to insert that. Just wanted to insert that. All right, guys, I have gone way over time, but I hope this information was valuable. Don't forget to sign up to our webinars. All right. And until next time, don't forget, it is time for a clear shift. See you later.